Xander Holt here. Welcome to the Rock Hard for Life kitchen. Today, I'm going to show you how to make the Rock Hard Super Sex Salsa Smoothie, one of my favorite smoothies. And this is from my book, 7 Secret Super Sex Smoothies. So if you have that book, then you're familiar with this one. You'll actually see how I make it today. This one is chock full of erection boosters and testosterone boosters. It's really, really good. It's super smooth. It's a great smoothie. So before I actually start though, I just want to emphasize, as I normally do, is, we live in this magic pill culture. So people are thinking, oh, if I just do this one thing, it's going to pop those erections. This is a really helpful part for erections, boosting erections, particularly like if you drink in an hour or two, or even 3, somewhere between 1 to 3 hours, depending on how well you digest your food before you go into the bedroom. This gives you that extra boost. But it only does that if the foundation of your erection ecosystem is at least working good enough. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, please look at our Impact Point Matrix training, which explains to you this ecosystem that's behind your erections, because there's a lot of things that go into having you get rock solid erections and maintaining those erections, as well as a refractory period, all that stuff. Really important to understand the ecosystem, and then you'll get frustrated when, say for instance, you drink this and you don't notice a whole lot of difference. Some guys will notice a whole lot of difference, and that means that ecosystem is probably doing pretty well. So you're doing pretty good there. But it can always be better. So understanding that ecosystem is so important, because some guys will get in their head that, I'm going to drink this, I'm just going to pop a boner, and it doesn't really work that way. Or it can, but that's rare. Even like ED drugs, very powerful chemical that you take. Most guys don't just pop an erection when they take an ED drug, right? They still need other factors, particularly arousal. They need to get aroused, right? Don't expect a smoothie to be any different than that, but only in the sense that it is different is that you're getting lots of great nutrition here, which is helping to actually build that foundation I'm talking about. But nutrition is just one portion of that. There's many other things in that erection ecosystem to at least understand at a bird's eye level will help you tremendously as you're going through this journey of getting solid rock hard erections naturally and holistically, which is what we're all about here at Rock Hard for Life, right? The reason the guys need the ED drugs in the first place is that their foundation is not good enough. They need something very strong to push through, because that foundation just isn't there. Get the foundation under control, then you won't need that stuff. All right, so let's start in with our Sex Salsa Smoothie, which is so awesome. All right, so I'm going to make it pretty much like the book. I'm going to give you a couple of tweaks you can make, but it tastes so good as its own. First, we're going to start with 3 stalks of asparagus. Now, I could probably do more than 3 because these are so skinny. Asparagus is a very powerful male superfood, both for testosterone and erection producing. It's one of my favorites. But when you're eating it raw like this in a smoothie, it has a very pungent flavor. So I would start with 3, and if you feel like it's still okay, next time you can experiment with 4 or 5. But if you put too much of this in there, it's going to overpower the whole flavor of the smoothie, is my point. Okay, so we're going to start off with a very powerful vegetable when it comes to erection boosting and testosterone, and then we're going to follow it with another very powerful one, and that is celery, especially raw celery like this. Very powerful in terms of your testosterone levels, also in terms of your pheromones, making you smell more manly and more attractive to the opposite sex. Celery is one of the best in terms of that. Also great for your semen levels. You want bigger loads when you ejaculate. Celery is awesome for that. Now we're going to put in a small tomato. This is an organic tomato. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be organic, but I'm going to be having the skins as well. So if I eat the skin, then I tend to get organic. Now, the blender, the high-powered blender, this is a Vitamix. it will chop up all this really well, but it's so much easier if you cut it first. I like to do it in fourths because when it's round like this, it tends to bounce around on the bottom, you know, like a ball being bounced up. So if you just chop it up, make some room here so you can see me. So I cut it in half and then you cut it in quarters. Then it's so much easier for those blades to grab it and just get it chopped up. Okay, and tomato, full of vitamin C. Okay, and that's going to be real important here in a second. Vitamin C, for one thing, just in and of itself, is a really powerful erection booster because it's great for our blood vessels overall. The next ingredient is even higher in vitamin C. In fact, bell peppers are one of the highest in vitamin C in terms of foods. So they work really good. So I like to chop it up just a little bit, once again, just so it chops up in the blender a little easier. So once again, lots of vitamin C here. And then we're going to put in some ginger. Ginger gives it a great flavor, and it also is a powerful nitric oxide booster and testosterone booster. It's a great male superfood overall. And what we want to do is we're just going to cut ourselves off a slice of it. So this is a big piece of ginger. I'm going to just break off a piece, and then I'm going to cut off a slice. Now, I really like the flavor of ginger, so you don't have to cut one real thick, but this is, you know, that's about how much I typically like. You can get a thinner slice if you want, put it in. And then also a thin slice of onion. Okay, gives it a really good flavor. And onion is also a very powerful testosterone booster, and it's also a good source of iodine. So we're going to put that in, and iodine is helpful. We have actually iodine receptors on our testicles, so that should give you a clue on the importance of iodine. You don't want to overdo iodine, but you definitely need it in at least trace amounts. And then we're going to add the garlic. So here's the deal with this one. Now, the garlic is actually one of the most powerful ingredients in here because garlic in of itself, see, I've got a kind of a smaller clove. It's not a huge clove, but garlic is a powerful nitric oxide booster in and of itself. But when you combine it with whole food vitamin C, which we're getting here with these vegetables, particularly with the bell pepper, it increases that nitric oxide production fourfold. So you get way more nitric oxide production when you, once again, combine this garlic with high vitamin C foods. So with this, I'm just going to cut the tip off. You don't even really have to because the high-speed blender will blend it up. And then I just throw the whole thing in. And I put in kind of a smaller one because the garlic can definitely overpower the flavor too. So once again, you should enjoy drinking it, right? Ideally. Now with these erection boosting smoothies, I know that's not our main goal anyway. So if it's not like super delicious to you, that's okay, but you shouldn't be drinking anything where you go, you know, that's you're not going to do that for the long run. So the better it tastes, the better off, the more likely it is you're going to keep up with it. Now, 2 sprigs of parsley, once again, powerful in terms of its nutrients, vitamin C, very high in vitamin C. And then we're going to put in our salt. So about a quarter teaspoon of salt in general, but you can salt it to flavor. I'm not going to measure it exactly. I'm just going to kind of bring it in a little bit. And I like to use that, once again, this is a high quality sea salt. This is Redmond's real salt. You want to use a high quality salt, not a table salt, because that's just going to have sodium and chloride. This has got a ton of trace minerals, over 70 trace minerals in it. And it's also very helpful, especially combined with these other ingredients, in increasing our nitric oxide production even more. It's really good for that. Plus it adds the flavor. And then we're going to put in some black pepper, like a pinch of black pepper. I'm just going to use this grape here. I like a little bit more in the pinch, but I enjoy the flavor of black pepper, and it gives it a little punch, and black pepper helps you absorb these nutrients much better. So that's another great reason to put it in there. And then this is just a cup of filtered water, which I got out of my reverse osmosis system here at the sink. Okay, so make sure it's filtered. Reverse osmosis is my preference. but try to avoid tap water because that's got a lot of trace stuff in it that's not good for our manhood. Okay, just double checking. So I got the asparagus, I got the celery, I got the tomato, avocado. Oh, missed the avocado. See, I'm glad I went through that. So the avocado is really important too. Once again, this is more of a, Latin flavors in here, and the avocado really works well with that. And it's high in vitamin C. It's a great natural testosterone booster. And also the vitamin E helps a lot with our sperm production, semen production, overall sexual vitality. And this is frozen, by the way. You don't have to use frozen. If you don't use frozen, use fresh and just put a half an avocado. But I'm just going to pour it in to where it's about half an avocado. Okay? And it provides a lot of extra smoothness to the smoothie because of the monounsaturated fats in here. And those monounsaturated fats, once again, like the black pepper, really help us absorb these nutrients. All right, let me just make sure I got all that. Let's see, we got our asparagus, celery, tomato, avocado, pepper, ginger, onion, garlic, parsley. Yeah, we're good. We got salt. Okay, we got everything. So now what we're gonna do is put the lid on, and I'm gonna turn it on. And this is the reason I use my headsets when I'm doing smoothie videos, is because the blender can get pretty loud. All right, so what I'm gonna do first of all is turn it on. Okay. And then I'm gonna kind of mash it down a bit. Okay. And then increase the speed a bit. And give this one a taste. First of all, it smells pretty good. And let's see how this one came out. Yeah, that's really good. The one thing though, probably some guys will make fun of me, but because I use citrus a lot, I would probably put a little bit of citrus in this. Lime would be perfect. So I consider maybe putting, you don't even put a bunch, maybe a quarter to a fourth of a lime, keeping the skins on, because that helps, that puts in hesperidin. It has hesperidin in it, which is an aromatase inhibitor. But that's what I would add to this. I would probably put in a quarter lime, and that would really accentuate the flavor even more, although this is really good in and of itself. Another thing you could do with this is add some cumin, would be really good in this one. Not overdoing it, but a little bit to give it some more flavor. Let me think of something else. Like you can actually add some additional ingredients, like spinach would work really well in here. So that would give some additional like nitrates and folates and nutrients that would help with this. Completely optional. It's very good just like it is. But those things, that's what I would do. If it was me personally, which it is me personally, I'm talking to you guys, I would add some lime. Lime would be really good on this. And maybe even a little bit more salt. I think I undersalted it. Oh, that's what I'm going to say. This would also, I think, go really good with some jalapeno pepper. If you cut off a little jalapeno pepper, put that in there fresh, that's going to not only spice it up, but it's going to give you additional capsaicin, which helps a lot with your erections, helps with blood flow, helps with your blood vessels. Really good stuff. So that's the things I would consider. Lime, a little additional salt, and some jalapeno. But it's great just like it is. And let me know what you think. Cheers, and I will see you in the next smoothie video.
Hey man, I hope you got a ton out of this segment of the Erection Boosting Smoothies video series, where we are diving deep into how you can make your own simple yet powerful rock-solid bedroom performance smoothies. If you would like to get free access to the entire Erection Boosting Smoothie series, make sure you click the link in the description of this video to register for free access to all of the Erection Boosting Smoothie videos in this series, along with some other surprise bonuses. Also, if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and turn on your notifications bell so you get all of the future value-packed videos just like this that I will be releasing for you to help you be the best version of yourself and have natural, stage 4, rock-solid performance. I will see you tomorrow in the next erection boosting smoothies video.